which is the deep cleaning, which is decluttering and depersonalizing, which whoever you're working with as your real estate agent, they will tell you, I can see my little reading nook here. And so the more you declutter, the more you depersonalize, the better. The more light the property is, the more inviting the property feels. That does create a little bit of temperature mentally, even though it's not physically. Tips to sell your property in these winter months. As interest rates are going down, that means that home prices will start to rise. So let's jump into it. But before then, I am Keyra Ford, your real estate cheerleader, where I help you take ownership of where you live and how you live, and to live a life of abundance. So if you're new here, please hit that subscribe button or the notification button so you are notified every time that I post a video. And without further ado, let's jump right into these tips. The first tip, when you are about to sell your property and it's about to come onto the market and you're gonna do open houses, whatever realtor that you're working with, which you should work with me if you're in Dallas, you wanna make sure there's lots of light. The more light the property is, the more inviting the property feels. And two, in the winter months, I will tell you this, it's a little darker outside. I mean, it's colder, it gets darker faster. So when people come into your house, the lighter and brighter it is, it lifts people's mood and it makes them feel at home. Tip 2, which is common sense, but common sense is not common practice, is do a deep clean on your property. And the reason why I say a deep clean, some people will go and they'll just clean, but doing a deep clean means that you're getting any spider webs that might be, in these little corners that you don't notice. I mean, that's getting really underneath the couch. I know we vacuum, but do we really go underneath the couch to get all of that dust and all of the things which can hold smells? Which leads into step 3, which is when someone comes into your house, the aroma. The aroma that they smell immediately matters. And so I see it time and time when I'm working with buyers and we're walking into a property and we're touring the house. And if the house smells, they say something immediately. It turns them off. So you really want to make sure the aroma, the smells that are going on in the home when someone enters is very light, very fresh. Not too strong. I would even say, since it's wintertime, put something on the stove like, apple cider that's like boiling that will give like a light, fragrance. You can even do candles that have very minimum perfume because you also don't know if people are allergic to things or not. I did mention this on step 2, which is the deep cleaning, which is decluttering and depersonalizing, which whoever you're working with as your real estate agent, they will tell you the less it is personal to you, the better. So when that buyer walks into that property, they can see themselves in the house. They can say, oh my gosh, I can see my pictures going here. I can see my couch going there. I can see my little reading nook here. And so the more you declutter, the more you depersonalize, the better. The better that a buyer can see themselves living there, which means that the faster that they would actually make an offer and buy your property. Step 4, which is keep the home at a good temperature. I know that sounds kind of cheesy, but it is wintertime, so it's chilly outside. People have jackets. You don't want to make the house blazing hot and people walk in and they're like sweating and they're starting to feel like, oh my goodness, this is way too hot. You want to have it at a very neutral temperature level. I would even say set the room to make it beautiful, as in like, maybe do some fire in the fireplace if you have a fireplace, or have your electrical fireplace be going off, because that does create a little bit of temperature mentally, even though it's not physically. My channel is all about bringing you value. So if you, of course, have any questions or would love a, more in-depth conversation about selling your property, I would love if you could schedule a strategy session or a seller consultation so that we take the time to walk through your wants and your needs of getting the home sold in a timely fashion. You can schedule that through my link below in my description or even in my comments. Let's get back to it. The 5th tip that I would say that goes along with temperature is making the house very cozy and inviting. And when you do that, like I said, you can do fireplace. I would say do some throw on blankets onto the couches if you have furniture. And if you don't have furniture in there, I would really highly suggest that you hire a stager. I mean, you can hire a stager hourly that can walk you through what you should do and how the house should flow with the furniture that they suggest. I mean, most of the tips that I've already given you are free tips, but I would say investing in staging if the house is vacant, because it truly will give a buyer a full picture of what it would look like if furniture was in there. Also, setting your dining room table, which looks like you're about to have a grand dinner, because it makes people feel at home. What we're wanting to create for the buyers is when they walk into the house, they can say, wow, I feel like at home. That is how you're going to get the most offers. That's how you're going to be able to get the most people who want to come in and actually make an offer on your property. My sixth tip is more a personal tip versus something that you actually or must do, which is play music. You want to set the tone. So, I mean, when you walk into these big facilities or you are on the elevator, you have elevator music. You have, when you go to the spa, you have that more soothing music. You want to create that exact same feel. You want it to feel at home, something a little upbeat, but not too upbeat. You don't want it to be too much of one genre. You also want it to be like coffee shop music is what I like to call it. So I usually will put on playlists at my listings. I always advise anyone who's doing open houses for me to have music because it sets the tone. It gets people feeling at home. And once again, that's exactly what you want when you want to be able to sell your property fast in these winter months. The seventh and last tip is present interesting facts throughout the house. And the reason why this is important is because buyers want to know, what is something that is super exciting about this house? What features do you love that they should know? The more you tell the buyers why they should love that house, the more they'll love it. So what I typically will do in some listings, I'll have little note cards throughout the house saying, this is a great area where you can do a reading nook. This is a great area where you can totally put, floating shelves here. I even put a upgrade list as well, new roof since 2020, a new AC. And so you want to give the buyers the information that is new in that house so they can say, I want to pick your house as now my house. Does that make sense? I'm sure it does. So these tips will truly be able to help you sell your property faster in these winter months. And if you are interested in selling your property now or in the near future, I would love if you can text to the number below, value. And I'll be more than happy to send you over some questions that you'll have to fill out that I then will send you over a evaluation of what your house could typically be worth. So I can help you sell your house as well.
Oh my gosh, there she is. It's Keyra Ford. Keyra Ford. You don't know what? Never heard? Oh my gosh, she's played every time.